The eyes of the world are fixed on Africa as something remarkable takes shape on its soil. This is not just another opening ceremony. It is a statement to the world that Africa is stepping into a new chapter of transportation powered by creativity, bravery, and vision. Tonight, history is not being told. It is being created with the launch of Africa's first self-powered electric train, a marvel that does not depend on overhead wires, coal, or diesel. A machine born from the imagination of Maxwell Sangulani Chikumbutso, a man once dismissed as nothing more than a dreamer, but who now stands as a pioneer, shaking the global tech stage. The stadium is glowing with lights, the crowd is thundering, and cameras from every corner of the world are locked on this single history-making event. The atmosphere carries both excitement and disbelief. How could a train possibly move without traditional fuel, without a link to the power grid, without the heavy costs of charging or refueling? The answer lies in RF technology, a science many once waved away as impossible, now proving itself as reality. This train generates its own energy, pulling power from radio frequencies around it and turning them into usable electricity. No wires, no fuel tanks, no ties to unstable energy markets, only pure, self-sustaining invention running on Africa's rails. The audience gasps as the massive train comes alive. Its lights glow brighter than the bursts from thousands of cameras. Children stare at their parents with wide eyes, as if they are witnessing magic. But this is not magic. This is science, invention, and vision blended into one. It is the birth of a transportation revolution. The announcer's voice rises across the stadium, calling the name of Maxwell Chikumbutso. He walks to the stage, a modest figure carrying the weight of history. Behind him, the giant self-powered train stands like a metallic giant, ready to awaken. Maxwell raises his hand, the crowd jumps to its feet, and suddenly, the train starts to move. No smoke, no deafening noise, just a steady, graceful glide powered by unseen waves of energy. Flags wave, cheers echo, tears of pride stream down faces. This is Africa proving to the world that innovation is not restricted by geography or wealth. It is fueled by courage and imagination. The first movement of this train is not just a ceremony stunt. It is practical, strong, and lasting. The RF technology powering it can maintain endless motion without running out. It recharges itself while moving, an infinite cycle of generation and consumption. Scientists and engineers in the audience are left speechless. Many of them once rejected Chikumbutso's claims as wild dreams. Yet here it is, undeniable, working right before their eyes. This is not a secret prototype locked away in a lab. It is a real, physical machine, large enough to carry hundreds of people. And it is alive. The camera shows the endless tracks ahead. This train is not designed to sit still. It is meant to connect villages, cities, and nations. It is designed to slash travel costs, reduce emissions, and redefine Africa's place in global technology. For generations, Africa was viewed as only a buyer of innovation. Tonight, it is the birthplace of a breakthrough that the rest of the world will rush to copy. The announcer speaks of independence. Independence from foreign oil, from outside tech, from old infrastructures. He speaks of a train that is more than transport. It is a symbol of freedom. Maxwell gazes at the crowd, and for a moment, the stadium falls into silence. Then, in a soft yet steady voice, he declares, "This train belongs to Africa. It belongs to the world. It belongs to the future." The words echo like thunder, sending waves of applause through the crowd. For many, this is the first time they believe Africa is not simply catching up with the world. It is leading it. The train's doors slide open, and honored guests step inside for the historic first ride. Every step is followed by cameras, recording history. Inside, the cabin glows with futuristic lights, screens displaying the self-powered system in action. Passengers whisper in disbelief as the train begins to accelerate smoothly. No shaking, no rattling, only calm confidence. The crowd outside erupts in cheers as the train glides forward. Every meter it covers speaks directly to the skeptics who said it could never happen. Tonight's short ride may be brief, but its meaning will last forever. Now the world faces a question it has long avoided. If radio frequencies can power a train endlessly, what else can be done? If a train moves without fuel or charging, why not cars, buses, airplanes, or ships? The possibilities stretch beyond imagination. This event is about far more than one train. It signals a new way of life, a new energy ecosystem. Journalists, governments, and corporations understand it. A ripple has started that could shake entire industries. Because if one man in Zimbabwe could do this, what excuse do billion-dollar companies around the world have? The announcer explains how the RF system works. Small receivers hidden across the train capture ambient radio frequencies. These signals are converted into electric power. Supercapacitors and batteries store energy for acceleration. It is a cycle that does not end as long as radio waves are around. And radio waves are everywhere. From natural frequencies of Earth to human communication signals, energy fills the air. The train is simply the first to truly harness it. As the ride continues, journalists type rapidly, preparing headlines that will soon circle the globe. Self-powered train shocks the world. Africa leads in clean energy innovation. Chikumbutso's dream comes alive. The crowd outside watches giant screens showing the inside of the train, where dignitaries clap, smile, and take photos. It feels like a scene from science fiction. But it is happening right now. The announcer calls it the day Africa rewrote the laws of transport. The moment shakes hearts of millions watching across the globe. For years, the story of innovation was controlled by the West. But tonight, Africa tells its own story. The train glides back into the station, met by a roaring sea of people. Drones hover above, cameras flash non-stop. Children wave flags with the train's image. Elders shed tears of joy. Engineers bow their heads, realizing textbooks must be rewritten. Fireworks burst across the night. Yet none shine brighter than the glowing train still humming quietly on the tracks. Maxwell steps forward once again, his voice steady. This is only the beginning. And everyone knows he is serious. Because if a train can power itself forever, the limits of human invention have just been broken. The engineers behind the train step on stage, honored by the crowd. They tell of setbacks, mockery, even threats. But those challenges only strengthened their determination. This project was not built with the money of giant corporations, but with belief, sacrifice, and resilience. That belief now stands in steel and motion. One engineer explains the RF conversion system, describing it as small, scalable, and adaptable. The crowd suddenly realizes if it can power a train, it can power nearly anything. The atmosphere buzzes with shock and hope. This is not the end. It is the first domino. But the real test lies ahead. A true long-distance journey is planned in the coming days, across cities and landscapes. A video plays on giant screens, showing Africa's rivers, deserts, savannas, and glowing cities. The message says this train is built for all of Africa, to connect remote villages, to boost trade, to unite people without harming the environment. He remembers the long years of rejection, warnings, and obstacles from industries afraid of his ideas. But he never stopped. Tonight, the train is proof that persistence beats resistance. Children are invited aboard for a symbolic ride. Their laughter fills the cabin. They don't ask how it works. They accept that it does. To them, this is not strange. It is normal. The train hums softly as it carries them a short distance and back. They wave from the windows as the crowd cheers. It is a vision of tomorrow, carried in their innocent joy. Meanwhile, the rest of the world is buzzing. News anchors debate it live, analysts argue if it is real, investors scramble to measure its impact. If energy becomes free, trillions of dollars tied to oil, gas, coal, and even renewables are at risk. A machine that powers itself forever destroys the foundation of scarcity. And scarcity has been the backbone of the global economy. But here in Africa, abundance has just been born. It is not just a machine on a track. It is the heartbeat of a revolution that has begun.